Start. All right. Welcome everybody. You are joining us for another mini episode, and if this is the first one you're watching, what the hell? Go back and watch the other stuff. I don't know. You're crazy. You're crazy starting right here in the middle of stuff. But either way, I've got Crow with me, and we are gonna do a little finish up. If you watched the other mini episodes, Crow's had a long night. And we're going to make it a little longer. So we're actually going to get started with something that we do in the show every once in a while with a monologue token. And so I am going to give this monologue token to Crow, and I'm going to ask, as he exits the window of Mira's hotel room, as one is known to do when they leave through the window, and he's, I'm sure, thinking about a lot, and I'd love to know a little bit of what Crow is thinking. So monologue token to you, sir.
What the hell just happened? Nothing makes sense anymore. Where are these memories coming from? I remember two different timelines, things they're conflicting, they're not the same. I don't understand. How is it possible that I remember multiple things at one time? On one hand, one thing makes sense and the other doesn't. All my life, I've been a weapon, and I've been fine with that. I have wanted for nothing more. And then this other timeline of memories, I do want more. I don't feel as if I'm just a tool to be discarded. I remember Karina betraying me, and now she never did, and now I'm not sure what is real. God, why does things keep happening that make no sense? What am I here for? What is the point of me being with all of these different types of people? I mean, we have somebody whose origins is unknown, somebody who has a person living in their head, a prophetic child of, I don't even know what her deal is anymore. Karina is a vampire, and Brother Lucian is a priest, and I just know how to kill people very effectively. Why am I here? Because if I wasn't here, hell, there'd be no difference. There would be absolutely no change in this party's standing or capabilities. Why did you mock me? Matron of Ravens, why me? What makes me so special that I would be mocked? What is it for?
As you have these thoughts, you climb down from her window thinking these things, and take a few steps, and as you think of the Raven Queen, you actually, and I'm going to give you another opportunity to see if you can do the noise and see if it'll pick it up, but you hear a raven caw. Yeah, I picked it up that time. We'll see if it makes it to the final edit, but
I've been working on it. It's not the greatest, but I've been working on it. It still needs a little bit of work.
You hear a singular caw coming up a little bit from the building. There's a small path that kind of circles around, which you know as you tried to venture earlier, and you see a small bench, and you see a familiar raven perched on a bench, and somebody sitting on that bench. And your raven is looking at you, but then turns back and is facing, so the bench is, you're seeing the back of the bench, and it's just perched on it, facing the same way forward as whoever's sitting there.
Excuse me, but if it's all the same to you, I would like to have my bird back.
And then you hear, "Oh, is this yours?" As Sapphire turns her head, and you see she's holding a cigarette in her hands and just kind of nods to the bird. "It was just keeping me company."
Interesting. She's not normally one to sit with others. Which then now begs the question, who exactly are you?
Yes.
You'll have to forgive my rudeness. Things are a bit discombobulated for me at the moment.
You seem slightly different than our earlier conversation, but come, have a seat, share a cigarette. And
he'll go to sit by her, and while he does that, he's like, yes, you'll have to forgive me for that. I guess I was not myself. I'm still trying to figure it all out. I've recently gotten a new set of memories that are apparently my true memories, and so I don't really know which way is up, but I do apologize for my earlier behavior. I guess that's not who I am anymore, but more who I used to be.
Fair. And she hands you a cigarette.
Crow is going to sheath that motherfucker.
Okay.
He's going to take a big drag.
Okay. As you take it, she just kind of leaves that one to you. And you see that she turns slightly to be a little bit more welcoming to the fact that you're sitting next to her, but still maintains a very professional stance. I'm not, unlike how I am sitting currently, very, very straight. And I mean, obviously you've caught her off guard and she's by herself, but she's still very, I don't know. I don't want to use, she doesn't seem relaxed. Like, this is maybe her version of relaxed, and it's not very relaxed.
This is the smoke pit. That's what this is. This is the smoke pit. I know exactly.
She says, "I don't care for the way magics can manipulate the mind, and I've been reading reports of far crueler things that have been done with the advancements in hemotech from where your party was discovered. So I can only imagine the frustration that you are feeling right now. First, I would like to apologize for... I was a little abrupt myself earlier. I have had a very long day. I do not mean to look at my day was worse than yours, but because I think you'd probably win that. But to say the least, it has been an interesting week, and I have a feeling it's going to become even stranger as we move forward."
I agree with that. It has been a very interesting week. 5 days ago, it was just me and Mira, and now, if these new memories are to be believed, we have an entire party. We've been captured, tortured, and now rescued by your ragtag band of whatever you have going on here. I still don't quite understand who you people are. I really don't. I thought I was well connected in militias and the different guilds and organizations across this continent, but I have no idea who any of you people are.
Well, we are not a guild, and it may be better to think of us as a special operations group, and the fact that you have not heard of us is mostly the point. However, now that you have, I know that I am hopeful that your party and ours may align in some ways, as I feel that we may be able to be a help for yours, and you may be able to be of assistance to ours. However, that is not up to me. We do have a leader who you will meet soon and will be able to explain a lot more than I am able to, and I apologize for that as well.
No apology necessary. I did a very long stint with the tongue, and they are very well known for their secrets, so trust me when I say, of all of my companions, I'm probably the one that understands caution the most. Quite frankly, we owe you people for getting us out of the situation that you had found us. So we at least owe a debt of gratitude and to at least hear your leader out. But while I have you here in a more informal setting, you made a comment that you know where I come from.
A better way to say that is that our leader knows where you come from. It is something that I have firsthand knowledge of, only small bits and pieces. Again, though, it is not my secret to share, and so please understand that this is of utmost urgency, and it is something that we are trying to rectify as we have sent message, and we are trying to plan accordingly so that the two of you can meet.
I see. And what is this leader's name?
You know how you've never heard of our little band of merry fighters?
Aye.
It is because we do not use names to strangers, and I hope that we become more than strangers very soon, but that is not tonight.
Fair enough.
But in the spirit of trying, I will first tell you a truth. I was very against rescuing all of you, and felt that it was there were a lot of resources that we had burned in pulling all of you out, and I was not at a comfortable point that I felt it was time to burn those. So really your appreciation should be better directed to Shade, who did not exactly do as she was asked to do.
Well, if it's all the same to you, I will express it to you but not to her. She kind of weirds me out, if I'm being 100% honest with you. But I also do understand that sometimes it is better to hold back than to charge blindly forward if the risk is not worth the reward. And quite frankly, with our group, as thankful as I am, I really can't say if we are worth the reward at this point, because we all have some very strong issues that need to be ironed out on the individual and group levels. I'm not even sure where that would start. I mean, I've only known these people roughly a week at this rate, and one of them has tried to kill me multiple times and has nearly succeeded.
The priest?
No, surprisingly, actually. It's somebody who's not here with us currently. Honestly, I'm not really even sure if she's still alive. That's probably something that's going to need to be addressed in the morn. But then again, it would not necessarily be a large loss if she is not anymore.
I
I
can
don't know.
I can go ahead and save you the trouble of getting your hopes up and tell you that Karina is in fact alive at this moment.
And he's just gonna look up and just go, yay.
However, I do not believe that you will find her the same way that she left your group. But I think that may be true for most of you. We've been watching as I am realizing how crazy the sentence I was about to say is. But our trade is intelligence, and intelligence is gathered by our senses, and one of those is sight. But we have been monitoring as your group has piqued our interest, and
How long exactly? There's some instances that I'm really hoping that remained private.
well, we are not omnipotent, and so I imagine there are bits and pieces that we are missing. And maybe tomorrow, as we sit, we can all meet and discuss, and I can play. Sorry, not play. I can put a few more cards on the table, and allow your party to possibly do the same. But the point is, while you have not been together for very long, it seems that all of you, when apart, have a desperate need to come back together, and that is unique.
Fate conversation. I love these. I don't understand any of it, if I'm being honest. I've only had one care. Two cares? I don't know. At first, when I was rescued by Shade, I thought I was just being paid to be here, but now I have memories of a prophecy, and apparently I have a part to play in this, and a destiny and fate, and mocked by the Queen of Ravens, and I honestly don't. I don't know. I don't know which side is up. I'm not the person to have this conversation with because, quite frankly, my head is so scrambled at this rate that half of me wants to just walk away from all of this, and the other half of me wants to run back to my friend and comfort her. But no, that's not really an option at this point. Who are you, though, specifically? My bird has been with me since I was a child, and I have never, save for one other person, I've never seen her interact with any other being before.
Well, a few minutes ago, I was just watching and just kind of, she points out to just the general movement of the foliage and whatever animals or insects are out and about, scenery, and this bird flew over to that window, and she points at the Mira's window, and it hovered there for a moment, and then more birds came out. We don't allow a lot of birds in the rooms, so I don't know if you're keeping birds, but
No, that was okay.
Either way, I will let Philippe know. That is our intern, and I'll make sure that all of the bird droppings are clean tomorrow. However, when they all flew out, this one flew over here and then seemed as if it was waiting, and I imagine now that it was waiting for you. I really didn't do much else. I can't speak to why it wanted to sit right here, but I appreciated the company.
All right, well, that's a fair enough answer, and not entirely far-fetched, especially with what has happened in the last I don't know, a couple hours. I apparently was knocked out. I'm not really sure. Um, well, who who does your group serve? You serve a person, a deity, an organization?
We serve, um, without stepping too far out of my role and my place, um, we serve an idea.
Oh, wonderful.
And I think that idea may cover a few of those other things that you mentioned. But the most important thing, and the thing that I find very right about our group, is that we are action oriented. We do not sit around praying. We don't make nice art murals. We see what is in our way, and then we move that thing.
Sounds like I would have fit in better here than I do where I'm currently at.
We all have our roles to play, and maybe yours is going to cross over into what it is that we do, and vice versa.
I see. If it's all the same to you, it's been a very long night, and I think I'm going to call it an evening and clear my head some more.
I would warn you that you should return to your domicile via the window, as I believe that Shade has made an impromptu camp outside of your hallway, in preparation to show you a trinket of hers.
Wonderful. Thank you for the heads up.
One thing quickly about Shade, as she is, she can be very
Creepy?
overwhelming at times.
Creepy.
But it comes from a good place. I once saw Shade drag 3 of her downed compatriots a few miles to safety, all the while having to dodge scouts and groups that were in pursuit, and the entire time she was very injured and actively fighting a poison. And I can tell you the veracity and the high spirit and even creepy aspect of her nature at times in that trek was the thing that kept me awake, as I was one of the ones she was dragging.
Okay, but is she shoving, trading cards of you in your face and asking you to sign her shield? I'm not saying she's not capable. I've already seen that she's capable.
If you look
But
under where the handle is on her shield, you will see my signature. It will pass, Crow. It will pass.
right, fine.
She
I will entertain her for a few moments to see.
She is a fan of the art that we do. And in watching her, you may find to be a fan of hers, as she is formidable in combat. She is supposed to be our cleric. I don't remember the last time she healed somebody and didn't just beat our enemies to death with her shield.
I mean, if there's no one around to hurt you, then there's no need for healing.
Yes, best defense is a good offense, I have heard.
Right. Well, Sapphire, you enjoy the rest of your evening, but I am going to retire.
And then she holds out an unlit cigarette and offers you one for the road.
Oh, I'm gonna take it. We're developing a habit.
And then as she's handing it to you, she turns her hand like this. Oh, that didn't really pick it up well. Like this. And as it comes out the back end, a purple flame ignites on the end as she lights it for you and hands it. And then she stands and walks off.
Where can I get more? He's gonna call after her. Where can I get more of these?
Ask Philippe.
Wonderful. Thank you.
All right. For all of you at home, if you watched this and you liked it, well, then we have good news because we're making more. So check us out on live. You can comment and interact with us. Otherwise, check us out on YouTube if you missed that. If that's it, any other announcements? I don't think we've got anything else going on. Okay. All right.
Come hang out with us at Loot Fest.
Oh, yes. Come to Loot Fest.
The only thing.
We'll have more info about that in our live, and in the next episode, we'll talk a little bit more about that. And yeah, I think that's it. All right. You guys have a good one.